Welcome back to the Giants, guys. This week we have some heated debates about who's to blame for the 0-4 start. How much of this is on Daniel Jones, and is this it for Dave Gettleman? Make sure you follow all the Giants guys on Twitter.
Burn out. Yep, you got it. We are back. The Giants guys. And I like the belt. Oh, look at all this. Everybody's rocking some type of sports paraphernalia. But today, as usual, because it's 2020, more sad news in the world. That Mr. Eddie Van Halen has passed away. You are listening to the Giants guys, and this will be an Eddie Van Halen themed podcast. Craig Santucci, your host, owner and operator of NYGiantsRush.com. The podcast you love to hate is the Giants guys. These are my guys. You know them. We're going to roll through some Giant content if my screen kind of isn't always so dark. So let's do this. So we know the Giants lost on Sunday to the Rams. I mean, literally on the last play of the game, Jones throws an interception practically at the goal line. And I consistently come back to this theme that this team doesn't know how to win. This team doesn't know how to finish. And it's a constant problem. You have to have patience, but so let's kick this off with what I call my first section, my Van Halen tribute is where have all the good times gone? OCU Manura said today on the Blue Rush podcast that the Giants have lost their identity. Okay. What's happened to all those good times? This once mighty franchise. What's happened? Spiro, starting with you. Like what's the lining theme to what happened to this dominating franchise, and why are we in such flux? Because sometimes it doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Yeah, well, from a football version, you could just point to the drafts. Draft after draft after draft bombed out. There was stat after stat saying, "Oh, the Giants have 2 players from 6 drafts still in NFL." Like something ridiculous like that. You can't win in this league if you don't draft well, because then you have to go into free agency. You overspend. If that doesn't turn out, you're where the Giants are right now from a player personnel standpoint. From a bigger overview standpoint, macro level, you got the owners that are too caught up in their same old ways, and we're too. John Mara's too nice. He just keeps everybody around for what they did in the past, and he hasn't ripped the Band-Aid off and moved on to the future. So those 2 things are why we're in the freaking dumps right now.
Mikey Fresh.
Well, it's great to be back, and Mikey Fresh ain't so fresh today. I'm wearing a hat. This organization doesn't deserve the freshness of the hair gel. Listen, since John Mara has taken over for, God rest his soul, his father, Wellington Mara, he's been a god-awful owner, and it has to fall at his feet. I mean, what has he done in terms of the hires he's made, right? We move on from Coughlin, we trot in McAdoo. Then we go to Shermer, right? And now here we are in a situation where, like, a bad decision and a bad draft pick here and there can be overcome. Like, teams make bad picks, teams make bad moves. When you compound them and have several poor decisions in a row, as you alluded to, draft after draft, that's bad coaching hires, bad decisions as an organization, it compounds and you put yourself in a hole behind the 8 ball. And then when you try to dig yourself out of the hole and you make somebody fall on the axe every year that it doesn't get better, then you're never giving yourself a chance. And then you become the Cleveland Browns. And right now we are the New York Giants, and we have to own that the last decade's been a complete disaster.
Damn, that's some big time, mic dropping statements there. Michael Stewart, where have all the good times gone, my friend?
Well, winning cures everything. Spiro and Mike was alluding to the draft. I don't know if you're talking about the draft with Gettleman's era or before that. based on how many NFL players are still in the league. I know Reese has a horrible track record with that.
That's what I was referring to.
Gettleman actually has a good record with that, with the Carolina, and the guys he has now remains to be seen. I like some of the guys he's drafted. I had a big debate on Twitter today with some guy about that, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nothing you can do about it. Players got to perform ultimately on the field.
I like that track. I'm a little bit myself on I'm tired of the whining. Players do have to stand up and actually perform. Jeff, you have a say here on this. Where have all our good times gone? You want to put a bow on this one?
We knew that this season was going to be about progress with all the factors considered, and they just feel like excuses at this point because we're all sick of losing, but they are factors that are heavily contributing. I think Spiro absolutely nailed it. I probably would have made the same exact 3 points that Spiro made about Mara being maybe loyal to a fault, giving Gettleman a benefit of the doubt because he was sick. He held on to Eli too long. He didn't help build around him. Nothing was handled well. It's like, Manning's my guy. I'm going to do whatever he needs to make sure he's comfortable. Like, screw that. There's millions of fans that need to see wins. So we're frustrated. This season is going to get better. We knew it was going to be a bad start with no preseason, but we're all sick of saying that. We got to win some games at some point, and I think that's just where the fan base is. When you look at the Texans, started off 0-4 after previously having success in recent years. They fire their head coach and general manager after 4 games. That sends a message to the fan base. Losing is not okay.
Yeah.
And the fan base here is like, why is losing okay here? Why does it keep happening? The players come and go. So you got to go to the top. You got to go to the GM. You got to go to the owner. And it's happening too much. We need big changes.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's interesting because I see a very unique side to this as, they rebuilt this team with really good football players, right? But they need time to develop. We literally, if you think about it from this way, it's kind of like if you guys play fantasy football, what do you do every year? You start with a new team, right? That's kind of what it is. There's no base.
Mm-hmm.
There's no veterans. There's no one. There's no one to say, hey, this stops here on my watch.
Yeah.
This is my team. There's nothing but these young guys that are trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
I think Sterling Shepard's the oldest guy on the team.
There you go.
Who still feels young, right?
I know.
He seems young.
Yeah, or Nate Solder, right? But I know
longest tenured.
Yeah,
drafted. Yeah.
And just it has this feel like, let's say, if I told you in 3 years, all these guys would be gelling, there'd be experience, and they're going to be really good. But we've been waiting so long to just win, just get me back to the playoffs. Lose in the playoffs for all I care, right? Just get me back there, please. So I understand what you guys are saying. The interesting fact is that the drafts aren't bad, but again, every team has veterans, right? They got superstars, they got role players, they got grinders, they got finesse. We don't have any of it. We have a solid group of football players that don't know how to win, and they don't know how to finish. And realistically, 3 years from now, those guys will be great, but nobody wants to wait that long, and I don't blame them. So where the good times have gone, I don't know. But I will tell you, if you brought it in, yeah, exactly. Gone. If you brought in what this team needs, and we could get into a little bit further, is if you had a Strahan, if you had a Pierce, if you had an Antrell Roll, if you had, if you had these type of guys, you'd see a little bit more. Think about it. If you're a young football player, what don't you have right now? Sense of urgency. What do you care? It's your first year. Yes, okay, you care. But you know what I'm saying? If you don't, this is your rookie year, your second year, you got a 5-year contract, a 4-year contract. So I don't know when the good times are coming back. And it's ugly right now. All right. It's ugly in different ways. So which leads me to our next section of this. And I'd like to say I have show notes, but guess what? They're on my other screen because
they're up here.
Yeah. No, I have another screen over here. I have them on because I ran out of ink. So I kind of feel like I failed you guys. I don't get to go show notes. So I've let you guys all down. Yeah, exactly. Second topic is somebody get me a doctor. Woo! Great Van Halen song. The team needs a shot in the arm. Would we all agree with that?
Yeah, that's an understatement.
So sometimes you get a trade, rare, free agent signing, a guy to come back from injury, something, right? Where is this team going to get a shot in the arm? We're now at the stage now. If we win 4 games, we're happy. 5 games, we're happy. If we win a game, we'll be happy.
Yeah, let's start there.
So my question is, somebody get me a doctor. Who's going to give this team a shot in the arm? Where is it coming from? There has to be. It can't be a slow build because this is the trajectory that they're on. It is a very slow build. The fans, especially the young fans, because they're just spouting all sorts of craziness out there. Where is the shot in the arm going to come from that goes, yes, that's why I tuned in on Sunday. That's what I missed. Fresh, I'm starting with you. What's going to give these guys a shot in the arm? I'm not saying win 8 games. I'm not saying win 4. Just win. A shot in the arm makes you feel good about Giant football. Where's it going to come from?
Shot in the arm or a cocktail of President Trump's treatment from the last week. Whatever steroids we can get is what we need. So it's got to come from the offense, and I think a spark needs to come from Jason Garrett and DJ, right? Like they both have to be better. And if we're talking about some production out of nowhere, Engram we know has the ability to put together some good games. you don't want Evan Engram's name.
I'm done. Don't get me fired up. Don't get me fired up.
I feel you, but
that dude is trash.
I
cannot take that dude on the team one more day.
Yeah, trust me, I'm with you. But would it shock you if he came out and started playing well? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be.
Oh my goodness!
But look, he has the ability, and he's shown that he can do it, right? But more likely. More likely. I don't know if more likely, but I think it's going to come from one of these wideouts that kind of comes out of nowhere from the practice squad. Some of these young undrafted rookies, somebody that can create like an inch or two of separation, maybe. If you look back to 2011, we were garbage, and that position was decimated early on, right? Yeah. We even signed Brandon Stokely because he went to the Manning Academy and like knew the family. An old washed up Brandon Stokely we brought in, but then Victor Cruz broke out of nowhere, and a position of weakness quickly turned into a position of strength when Manningham and they got healthy later, right? So I think that it's going to have to be somebody like that, like a Cinderella story that comes in and impresses, because we're not banking on Engram, right? So
I absolutely love that answer, because I love that. That's what it feels like. Michael Stewart, where's it coming from? Tell me you got something hidden up your sleeve.
Tell you the truth, this team's I guess the glimmer of light is the defensive side of the ball. I watched the game the other day, and I tell you, I love Lawrence. I love to watch that kid play, Dexter Lawrence. Even in plays I watched, he wasn't in on the play. He was battling. He was double teamed a couple of times. But who I want to see step up and just have a moment like he did his first NFL start is Daniel Jones. I want to see him. I just want to see him a good game to get his confidence back, to give fans hope, and because I still think he's got game. I don't know. I mean, he just seems to be running for his life sometimes, And I watched the game the other day, but it's hard to play when you worry about being hit all the time. So that's the guy I want to see.
Jeff, what do you got? Who's giving me a shot in the arm?
This team needs Jesus. I mean, there's no way this offensive line is going to dominate all of a sudden overnight. Listen, they're right, though. It's got to come from Daniel Jones. My God, rookie year is over. Your 16 games are behind you. When are you going to start acting like a franchise quarterback and start leading this team? I got to see it. Like, you've been here long enough. You should be comfortable. There's no more Eli Manning. You now got 4 games under your belt. Preseason's over. You're going against a soft defense this week. You have got to turn the page, start putting points on the board. It's pathetic what our offense has been doing. At some point, there are good quarterbacks on bad teams who are making things happen, who are being playmakers, who are making people around them better. It's time for Daniel Jones to start doing that, because you know what the fan base is saying. You know what they're talking about with the high draft pick. It's time for Daniel Jones to show up. Period.
Damn. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Spiro, what do you got?
Well, I think the defense is picking up some swagger week by week, and I think that the Rams game further cements that. One guy on that side of the ball that's going to be a spark, and it's a couple weeks out, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I think once Xavier McKinney comes back, if and when he does come back, that's going to be like the little cherry on top. And he's going to really turn that defense into something fierce once he gets into the lineup. Until then, and I know this is going to be something you guys are all going to laugh at, but I truly thought that the offensive line, from a run blocking standpoint, took a step up last game. We weren't seeing them, the running backs getting stuffed in the backfield play after play after play. Granted, they're getting 3 to 4 yards a clip, but you popped off that 48-yarder. You had Gates get in Aaron Donald's face. He was not standing down. You get Pert in there. You get Thomas starting to play confident. You have Hernandez, maybe, God forbid, pick up a twist here and there. But I think this whole shot in the arm. Yeah, I think
that was a great tweet you put out. I see that. I gave Spiro the pass to the all 22, and he's in love,
game
man.
over now. You're gonna get hit with video after video.
He's like, I have found God.
Yes. So for me, the shot in the arm, the offensive line taking that next step and giving Daniel Jones some time to freaking make plays, and that's what I'm going with, man.
So I usually don't want to circle back, but here's the thing. Check this out. Guys, Daniel Jones, here's the thing. Overall, he's a first down scrambling machine. Like, he's carrying the load as much as he can with absolutely, as Spiro, you probably watched it, absolute crap wide receivers. Slow.
Zero separation.
They run crap routes. He's got no one to throw to. Yes, he holds the ball too long, okay, because he thinks he's waiting for these guys to get open or cross. But he's trying. The dude is a first down machine. He's leading the team in rushing. He's running, he's spinning, he's diving, he's taking shots. Like, he's acting like a first-round pick. He's got no one to throw the ball to. Defense, all that great stuff. I think, guys, I'm talking about a shot in the arm, right? This section's called somebody get me a doctor. I like Mikey Fresh. I like what he's talking about, because here's the thing: whether it's Sills or Bachman, like
Austin Mack,
yeah, like maybe one of these guys has got a chip. One of these, look, Cruz had a chip. Yeah. Like, one of these guys, Freeman. One of these other guys has got to get a chip on their shoulder and be like, you cut me, watch what I do. You know what I mean? You stuff me on the practice squad, watch what I do. That can kind of catch on. And I think Fresh is right on it, just like Cruz did. Remember, 3 touchdowns. Ryan wants to know who he is. Then he has a hamstring. He gets stuffed on IR. He comes back and lights it up, right? So maybe a shot in the arm, maybe a kid who's not supposed to make the team or not supposed to do anything actually does.
Well, I'm tired of rolling Golden Tate out there. I mean, we know that this guy's gone after the season. Give me some young blood in there. Like, what do we got to lose right now?
Honestly, I wasn't on that trade Tate train until, it seems like he sulks after every missed throw or every bad play. Get his attitude out of here. Start fresh. Run somebody out there that has a chance of the future.
A young, hungry rookie. Yeah.
And for all you people that are Shepherd haters, have you noticed that we can't move the chains that he's not here? So people, get off the Shep train. Is he all-pro wide receiver? No, but the dude's tough, runs great routes, and catches the ball.
He gets separation. He's reliable.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so tired of listening to the
I'm not a Shepherd fan, but I hear what you're saying.
But again, I'm not asking you to wear his name on the jersey. I'm saying that while he's not on the field, he runs great routes. He does get separation, and he makes tough catches that moves the chains. No one runs good. Mikey Fresh, you got to watch the All 22. The routes are slow. They're lazy. They're rounded. Like
They're horrible.
Shepherd will get hit, makes big time catches, and the chains move, So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to go out and buy a Shep jersey, but like he makes a difference because think about it. He hasn't been here in 2 weeks, and what have we done? Not 2 weeks
Haven't scored a touchdown.
not only that, the leading rusher is Daniel Jones because he's got no one to throw to. All right, Moving on. People, remember, you're listening to the Giants guys dedicated to Mr. Eddie Van Halen today. Definitely check out nygiantsrush.com. I got a whole bunch of stuff from these guys out here to post tonight because I was all over the map today. So I didn't get a chance to post their stuff, which I'm going to post it, and you're going to love it because it's all really good stuff. There's some good takes in there. Java with Jones is up there. That's Mikey Fresh's piece on Jones every week. I love that he's gone to the digits. I love it. Right. And what's the other one, Mikey Fresh? What's the other?
Danny's Dimes and Danny's Crimes.
Danny's Crimes.
Yeah, that was good. I read
Love
that. That was
man.
good.
Love it. So these are my guys. We're starting to get some more guests. I'm going to do a little tease right now. We've had Mr. Russ Salzberg on. We've had on Mr. Lawrence Tynes, and coming up next week, Dave Tollefson, 2-time Super Bowl defense, and boom, with his roundhouse sack celebration. So teasing out now. So stay tuned in for Dave next week. Totally cool. I'm totally pumped for that. And we'll get in. And he says to me, let's just talk ball. That's what he said to me. So I'm excited for that. All right. Next subject. One of my, where is it? Do I have it? One of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites, because, I mean, come on, man.
Might as well jump.
Jump, baby. Can't beat a little jump.
Yeah, that was your era, right?
Yeah, man.
Did you have a mullet back then?
Who didn't?
Totally did. Everyone had mullets.
Yeah.
Who didn't have a mullet back
Right.
then? Remember, Miracle on Ice, right? They all had mullets. Right? For you hockey nuts,
Oh
right?
yeah.
All right. So Eddie Van Halen. It's just sad. Jump. Are we jumping off the Daniel Jones bandwagon after 17 starts? Do we remember how Eli Manning started? Do we remember how Phil Simms started? People, have a little patience. He has no line. He has no receivers. They're all a work in progress. If I send you to your job every day and I don't give you a computer or internet access or tools or a car or gas, that's what he's working with. He's working with all young kids on the line that have no idea what they're doing. And he's got receivers that, they're okay. Would these guys play on other teams? Probably not. Right. So I just, listen, I understand the world. It was a TED Talk. I'm pretty sure it was a TED Talk. We're used to instant gratification. Snapchat, Twitter, text. So when you text me, you're expecting a response in 5 minutes, or you're like, what's up, dude? What's up? You ignoring me? The world's not built that way. The NFL doesn't build a team in 5 minutes because you want it to. You don't give up on a quarterback and jump off the Jones bandwagon with 17 starts. Stop putting it all on Jones. Unless you want him to just start slinging it like Brett Favre, you'll get 5 interceptions a game. There's no one to throw to. How do I know that? The second play of the game, your all-talent, all-world tight end dropped the ball in the second play of the game. He can't catch. He can't catch. When it's in traffic or he has to run a hard dig route, he can't do it he's in his head. He needs to go. Jacksonville, Minnesota. Send him somewhere when there's no pressure, okay? He can't do the job. Slayton's great, but we all know he's basically a really good number 2, which is fine, right? We've had great number 2s. Mario Manningham, Victor Cruz, right? That's fine. He can't do it by himself. So please, people, stop jumping off the bandwagon, because guess what? Trevor Lawrence doesn't make the team any better. He won't have anyone to throw. There will be no one blocking for him. And then you're just going to just continue to find someone else to blame. Stop! Yeah, all right. You got to have patience. Jeff, talk to me. Because like you're all like, step up, be a big boy, play like a number 6 pick. What do you got for me, Mr. Pilgrim?
Well, let's not act like we're okay with the way he's playing.
No.
All right. The guy from the issue that he had when he started was fumbling. He fumbled as recently as last week. It's still happening constantly. But you look at the first 16 games versus Sims and Manning, he's got more touchdowns. He's got less interceptions than both of them. Granted, people are throwing the ball a lot more now, but
Jeff, two records. He's got a giant all-time passing record and an NFL passing record. Sims and Eli never sniffed that.
You're right. And I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. And in my upcoming article, you'll read that I said the idea that Trevor Lawrence is going to come here and fix everything is nothing but a dream, right? It would be like fixing the engine of a car and expecting it to run better without wheels. You got to have other things in place to succeed. You need other parts. And right now we don't have them. Everybody knows it. It's incredibly obvious. We just lost our best player to the IR. It's falling apart. So it's not falling all on Daniel Jones.
No, but like, do you think that other people are going to feel the same way you are? Because it seems like everybody's going crazy.
Well, listen, I'm pissed off because we keep losing. All right. I'll be honest about that. I don't want to make excuses for Daniel Jones and say it's not his fault. But at the same time, are you guys seeing enough progression from him? Are you that confident? Would you fall on the sword for Daniel Jones right now? I know that the team's not good, but are you really seeing enough progression? Because I'm on the Daniel Jones train. I want him to be the guy because he's got the right demeanor, the right professionalism to succeed in New York for a very long time, because we've seen it before with similar demeanors. What I'm saying is I want to see progression. I want to see more confidence and pocket awareness. I know it's fallen apart around him, but that happens to good quarterbacks and they make smart decisions. I need to see better decision-making from him.
Michael Stewart, talk to me.
Well, I'm certainly not going to fall off his wagon. I'm a big supporter of Daniel Jones. I think he's trying to do too much. No Barkley, no wide receivers really, just got Slayton. But in this game, you got to have multiple wide receivers to throw to. The kid's doing too much. He's trying too hard. And when you try too hard, you make mistakes, you force things. You know, he doesn't have enough time to throw. The poor kid's running for his life sometimes. You give him good supporting cast, especially in the line, he'll be a much better quarterback. And you'll see a number 6 overall pick if you give him support around him.
I like that. See, there's a man talks you off the shelf every single week and calms everything down. See, look, we're all getting along. No one's yelling.
I will say real quick, the throw he made to Slayton in the fourth quarter is as perfect a throw as any quarterback in the league could have made in that moment.
Yep.
That thing was on the money with less than a foot window of where that ball needed to be, and he put it there. That's the things that keep you coming back. It's like having that great drive.
He's got potential. He's got the ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs help.
Spiro, jump in.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't erase what we saw last year. And I was based off of last year, I was dead center in the middle of the front seat of Daniel Jones's bandwagon. Now I gotta be honest with you, I've gotten into the back seat. I'm not fully in the trunk to jump off.
He's with me in the back seat.
I'm in the back seat now. I'm 75% certain that he's still that guy. So maybe even 80%. But you know, the things that we saw last year, like the accuracy and the aggressiveness, that's gone. And I think part of that is due to changing the system and not you see him thinking way too much now. Everybody's talking about his turnovers. He's not aggressive anymore. He's not throwing the ball down the field. He doesn't know. He's locking onto his first read, which he wasn't even doing last year as a rookie. He's just too much is going on in that man's mind right now. And then you throw a bad line in front of him with zero running game. wide receivers that can't separate, and this is what you got right now. So the hope is the offensive line gets better, gives him time to have at least the wide receivers separate, and then gives him more confidence. He has no confidence in the line, no confidence in the wide receivers. Once he gets that confidence back, hopefully it starts with Dallas, because Dallas's defense is for crap right now.
Hey, Sims got benched a bunch of times. You know, you might
it's
see
got to happen now.
McCoy.
It's got to happen now. You're not benching him. You got to see. This is he's got 12 games to prove to Giants fans. Yeah, no, he's not. You're not benching him. He's got 12 games right now to prove to Giant fans that he's the quarterback of the future.
Fresh.
All right, so I agree with you. I was driving the bandwagon. I was having 4 other bandwagons being built and manufactured. I was like the leader of that, and now I'm in the bucket seat to what you were saying. I'm not off, but agree with what everyone said. Totally agree that the stuff around him is crumbling. Here's my thing. We have to deal with the reality of the situation that we're in current state. Because when Phil Simms and Eli Manning, when those things happened, there weren't quarterbacks in their first or second year all across the league lighting it up, and there weren't organizations turning over the entire management every year, right? In 2005, you had Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers was on the bench. In 2006, you had Liner and Vince Young as Eli was struggling. Right now, you look around the league, these kids, they come up and they're lighting it up right away. Look at Kyler Murray. You have Patrick Mahomes, right? Deshaun Watson came out and they were hot. These guys are coming out and they're just impressing. I'm not asking him to be Patrick Mahomes, but I'm also not asking him to go 2 straight games without scoring an offensive touchdown. And I believe that under the right stability and under the right circumstance, of course he could be a franchise guy. And of course he's that guy. But if you're going to tell me that we're going to change GMs and change coaches and change systems in the next 2 or 3 years, because that's the current state of the reality, then I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. He's not elevating enough. He's not playing beyond the X's and O's enough for me.
I like the analysis. I want to remind everyone about Pat. Okay, Patrick Mahomes took over a juggernaut of a team. Okay,
a Jaguar. Yeah.
Let's say Alex Smith was an All-Pro and threw for 4,000 yards. Their running back, what's his name? Hunt. Oh yeah, 1,300 yards. Pro Bowlers on the line
everywhere.
A playoff team. Listen. We all know Mahomes is like Houdini. Okay,
he's one of the best. He's also got one of the best play callers to ever play call games.
And now their defense is now nasty too.
Yeah. So look. So I'm
Very
with
decent.
you. I like your analysis, Fresh. I'm on board, right? You know, but some of these teams. Look, Kyler Murray goes to Arizona. They had a really good defense, right? So like Mighty Mouse is running around the place, slinging the ball to who? Larry Fitzgerald. I mean,
Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins.
Now he's got Hopkins.
Like, I'm just like, Daniel Jones is throwing to who? Who's our number 2 receiver?
I mean, even Minshew has DJ Chark. You know, like the supporting cast. Listen, you want your second year QB to learn his way. You know, at a certain pace. You don't want to put it all on him year 2.
Yeah,
so here, carry the team.
I get
crap.
that.
I'll go this far because we don't want to beat this up. But I will tell you, I'll go this far. Why not put Jones on any of the those teams that you just mentioned? He does great. If Jones has got Kelsey, no problem. If he's got Larry Fitz or Hop, not a problem. Okay, so like that's the thing that's rubbing me. Like I don't know if I love Daniel Jones. I don't.
Give him a chance. I hear you.
But guess what I do know? He threw for 5 touchdowns in one game, and he threw for 3,000 touchdowns in 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. It's never been done before by a Giant quarterback.
In 12 games only.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think we're seeing a little bit of like Trubisky had a good first year and then defenses figured him out? Are you worried that defenses are seeing something that figured him out?
Started 1 year in college. Quarterbacks who start 1 year in college, like Haskins, like Trubisky, suck. That's just what happens. Listen, think about this, Mikey Fresh. I'm a senior in high school, right? I'm a senior in high school. I go to college. I sit the bench for 3 years. You start in your senior year and then you go to college. You go to your senior year of college and then you play. You've got 1 year of college experience football. Daniel Jones started for how many years?
Yeah, I hear you.
Trubisky and Haskins literally started 16 games of college football. So they get in the pros, and of course they don't know what they're doing. Their game hasn't been refined. I'm just saying, and I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying I like everything he does. I'm not even telling you I think he's the right guy. All I know is right now, if I unplugged your microphone,
it's hard to evaluate him.
You wouldn't be able to do the show.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard to evaluate him.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is that evaluate him if he sucks when he's got an all-pro line or even a pro bowler or he's got something different than what he has now. Do you and I want to wait? Hell no. Nobody wants to wait anymore. I'm with you. That's why I'm hoping maybe these kids like Sills or Bachman come in and the shot in the arm. I'm hoping. That's all you can do. But pound for pound, he has 0 to work with, and he's already on his second system. Spiro nailed that before. You can't have the same expectations. He's got a new coach and a new system.
With no offseason.
Oh, with no offseason. Like, that's all I'm saying is pound for pound, none of it's equal. None of it. Moving on. You're listening to the Giants, guys. Thanks for staying tuned. And we hope we're entertaining you because, again, crappy day. Rolling snake eyes. Again, 2020, the year I can't wait for it to disappear. Eddie Van Halen. The hell?
Worst.
Exactly. All right. So, Jeff, you mentioned this before. I was trying to look it up real fast, and then my phone started playing a million other songs. Is Dreams, right? Let's talk about Dreams. God, Sammy Hagar. I had to put it in there. You know what I mean? It's not David Lee Roth. Okay. It's on 5150, but Dreams, man. A lot of keyboards and piano. That's all Eddie. Are we dreaming here when we say that we think we have a defense? Are these just like dreams? Because the nightmares seem to be over, and it seems like there's like a actual unit in the making here. There's a little special swag to this Graham, right? With what he's doing. And I'm not a huge believer, by the way, in the hybrids. Just to be upfront, I don't like rushing 2 with 8 DBs. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But are we seeing, right? Bandwagon Martinez. Got a lot of crap for it. All you people out there that dogged me for the last 3 months, right, Spiro?
Show yourself. Yourself.
Spiro knows. You guys all dog me. Oh, Martinez, he's slow. Yeah, okay. Leads the NFL in tackles. All right.
Alec Ogletree 2.0.
Yeah. Love you, Spiro. That is exactly what was said. I want you all to step up and eat crow.
Who said that? Show yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Call in right now. Show yourself. When the person who told me that he was Ogletree, Spiro, I am so looking up that tweet.
You'll find a lot of them.
I know. You're right. Spiro. All right. Spiro, I'll start with you then, since we're already rolling. Talk to me. Is this a special defense in the making? Like, or are we just it's just we want it so bad we're making it up. It's just a dream. Or am I actually seeing a good defense, great defense in the making?
I'd say you have at least an above average defense for the first time in 2016 was that blip, but you haven't had a legit good defense since the 2010 or early 2010. I like the pieces they got there. They got the defensive line that starts with the big guys in front. They are just dominating up front. You get an edge rusher in there, that'll take it to the elite level. Right now,
baby,
they're piecing it together. I like what Fackrell's doing. I like what Lorenzo Carter's doing. Obviously in the middle, Brent, your boy Martinez, cleaning everything up, and that's what you want to see. Bradbury's a great piece.
Oh, great piece.
They got this kid Lewis that they brought up, and if he's legit or if he's even average, that's going to be a real boon for this defense because we've been rolling out crap on CB2 for the first 3 games, and he looked really good against a tough matchup against the Rams.
And I like Ryan too, right? Let's not forget Logan Ryan.
Yeah, Logan Ryan, and once you get Peppers back, you have yourself a borderline top 15 to top 10 defense, and that's something good to work with going forward.
Jeff, talk to me.
100%. This is not a dream. This is a team playing team ball. They're playing together. We're doing it without superstars. We're doing it. Our starting safety was out, and we still have McKinney coming back, right? Like
I was gonna say, both our safeties are out. McKinney,
Yeah.
right. I mean, McKinney hasn't been real yet, right? Like he's a dream.
He's a dream.
We're still waiting for that to be real. But like Graham is doing a great job. Yards per play, the Giants are top 5 in the NFL. We just held the Rams, this offensive guru in Sean McVay, to 17 points. If not for that slant that went to the house.
Broken play too. That's what it was.
Right. Like
Bradbury took a bad angle.
This defense is building something special together. I hope that they stay together. I hope that they continue to grow. Because if you were able to add a superstar or two to this defense, you draft a monster, maybe at the top of the draft, the best defensive end in the draft. Like now you're cooking. Now you got something special. And, I'm not married to the rankings, but I do look at them, and the Giants are climbing every single week in defensive power rankings. So it's starting to get noticed. It's not just the Giants are going to suck all year. Their defense is starting to get some respect, and they deserve it.
Fresh, give me something.
Yeah, I think when you think of a special defense, you don't remember any team that was 4-12. So I think as far as like labeling them a special defense this year, they're going to need some help from the offense.
Let's stick to dreams.
But look, you like the pieces. They're everything the offense is not. They're the opposite. The game planning is good. They're playing together. They're getting contributions from every level. Players are stepping up. And I think that the big thing I'm excited about is that like they're not even, and you guys hit on it, like I'm just imagining Peppers and McKinney just roaming around the field. And I think Patrick Graham has done a great job. I think that this defense is going to keep them competitive in every game this season. And for sure, they're going to be, you said top 15. I'm thinking like top 7, like top 10 for sure. This defense they're for real, man. They kept it. They played a heck of a game on Sunday. So
yeah, they were fun to watch. And I will say this, and again, I'm not crying in my milk. I know, Jeff, you're going to laugh at me, but like, I am so happy to see Crowder on the field because Downs still sucks. I mean,
yes.
and while I don't know what Connolly would have done, our hurt Connolly on the bench is better than Downs. I mean, listen, I watched last week on All 22. Dude he's a stiff. Like,
he ain't getting off that bench anymore.
No, and you guys defended him, and I understand that you wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, like, he whiffs, he catches, he doesn't tackle, like he can't get off blocks. So, like, I mean, I would take Connolly with one knee over Downs. So watching Crowder actually make a diving interception, or, I mean, whether he caught it or not, right?
How could you overturn that call? That's ridiculous.
Yep. I know, but my point is,
that you cannot see that ball hit the ground.
No, but my point is that like, when's the last time you saw a Giants middle linebacker dive in front of a receiver to pick a ball off? Like I was automatically encouraged. Like I was like, oh yeah, I want more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me
He's
more
good.
of that. Michael
He's
Stewart,
a perfect compliment to Martinez. He's quick and he could get around the field, and he looks like he could tackle too.
What do you think, Michael Stewart? Are we dreaming, or is there some potential here?
No, we're not dreaming. We got some good pieces on defense side, but here comes the nightmare. You ready?
Oh man!
About half the players are on 1-year deals, and I don't think the Giants can be able to sign a lot of these guys.
Or due for contracts, one of the other.
Yeah, I'm talking about Williams. I'm talking about Tomlinson.
That D line.
Peppers. I'm talking about Frackle and those guys. Logan, Ryan. They're all on 1-year deals. So how many can they bring back? So
especially when they're performing well, and you're gonna have to pay.
That's right. So their value is going to go up.
Why you guys don't bust my bubble like that?
You could let a D tackle walk. You got Lawrence really coming into his own. So
yeah, but he's not talking about like you cannot. And I know this wasn't part of the segment, but there's no shot you letting Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, or Tomlinson go. all three of them have to come back.
That's what they said about Lynn Joseph too, but they didn't even sign him.
Depends
was
on
a
what
little
Williams is looking for.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Well,
He's
don't
looking
know
for
if they want a lot of
17
money.
mil.
I just don't know if you could let him go. I just don't, because
You got to remember the cap space is going to be less than it was because of the COVID-19. All the teams are not going to have that much cap space like they would have had.
It's going to
Except-
come down to Tomlinson or Leonard Williams. I
That's
think it's going
right.
to be one of those two.
That's right.
Yeah, keep one of them, let one walk.
And then you got to keep drafting well. That's always been the name of the game. You got to replace these guys with good draft picks.
Well, we mentioned it before. Sorry to cut you off, Craig, but like you talk about like, you know, where have all the good days gone or whatever, but like we had Strahan and then drafted OC and Tuck, and then Strahan fades away, come in JPP. It was a revolving door of all pro. Like we didn't miss on those guys. Like that's how we were able to be great. Like you need to draft these stars. You need to somehow project what they're going to be.
You're also talking about building from the outside in, and for some reason, for the last 10 years, we've built from the inside out, and it doesn't work. Like you just don't. Like we've got you don't even talk about Austin Jackson and RJ McIntosh, and you know we got enough defensive linemen and really no
BJ Hill.
You really need stars on the outside. It just at the end of the day, I like what Fackrell's doing. Golden's turned invisible because he's not getting the snaps. Zimenez, who I think has the most upsides, I don't think they're using him right or something. But like, you know, you really need a guy that's going to get, like Mikey Fresh said, like I think Carter's actually playing his best football, but he's not going to get 11.5 sacks at this pace.
Maybe not, but he's a good player. He can.
Yeah.
Don't count him out. Don't count him out.
All right, let's keep moving. You're listening to the Giants, guys. Next week, Dave Tollefson is going to be here. So that should be a ton of fun. Hope you got a chance to listen to Lawrence Tynes' interview. Absolutely cool dude. Great to talk to him. And just some of the things he said were priceless. Great stories. Even after the show, he hung around with us a little bit and chatted some more ball. So good guy. Let's not kill this one, right? So we're not too long here. Happy trails to you. I can play all these songs, by the way. Gettleman. And now, guys, think about all the things that you just said before we spit these answers out. Because what my thing is, like, you know, there's been some really good things that Gettleman has done. So is he going to be Happy Trails? Is it gone this year? Now you're telling your rookie quarterback has to have 2 head coaches, 2 general managers, and starting this over. Listen, let's the Golden deal, the Leonard Williams deal, the Caden Smith, who they refuse to throw the ball to. Jeffy, that's my new hashtag is throw to K Smith. Throw the ball to K Smith. That's my new hashtag. I mean, the dude's good. Throw him the ball. You know, Logan Ryan, he pulls off. Who else is on my list on here?
Oh, Blake Martinez, dude.
Blake Martinez and Bradbury. Like,
how could you forget?
He has made some very like suspect thing. Like Stewart, I think, was there because he thought he'd give Barkley a shoulder to cry on, and I think he brought in Omame, you know, and then realized he sucked and he jet setted him out. But he's made some, like, the Baker and Beal thing hurt. Beal doesn't want to play any football. Yeah. But Beal doesn't want to play football, not because he opted out, but the guy's been hurt. And I just think he's getting paid and he's not working. And I don't care who you are, no one knew Baker was going to do that. I mean, that's like stupidity at its highest level. No one can say, yeah, he's going to lose a bunch of money in a poker game and come back later with a gun and try to steal it back. Like, no one can figure that out. And by the way, no GM is 100%. There's plenty of blunders out there that we don't talk about or know about because they're not covering them. They all have them. He's old. He's old school. He hasn't done what we need, but he hasn't done what we not need. You know what I mean? Like, so there's something there that he's done. He's building it too slow. That's the issue that I have. He needed to go get a superstar defensive end or a superstar wide receiver, and instead he got us a bunch of D tackles, which I love. So my question to you, Michael Stewart, is it Happy Trails? Is he gone? And just hope that it doesn't affect Daniel Jones, you know, and in this franchise?
Unless the Giants make a complete turnaround and go on a winning streak, I think Gettleman's going.
By his own accord or by Mara and Tick?
No, I think they're gonna. I think Mara's gonna cut the cord. They almost fired him last year. I think they gave him a chance, whether it was because he was sick or he was part of the 2 Super Bowls going way back.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
not forget that he brought in Antonio Pierce, and Plaxico.
Right.
Burress. Let's not forget that.
Right. And Mara is a loyal man. He's the old school traditionalist. So, but I think enough is enough. I think unless they turn him around, he's going to be let go.
Bureau.
I always said at the beginning of the season that it was going to be if they won 5 games or less, Gettleman was going to take the axe. Somebody's head's got to roll. It's not going to be Judge. The heat was already around Gettleman before, but what it comes down to, if it's going to come down to this offensive line, which he swore he was going to build 3 years ago, and Daniel Jones, everything revolves around those two, for better or worse. But, the defense, he built that defense too, so you can't forget what he did on that side of the ball. The special teams,
Great
2/3
point.
of the team is pretty well set. So he's done good, but again, has got to roll. And if that offensive line is not blocking for Jones, this whole thing's going to go south, and they got to start from scratch once that goes south.
All right. I kind of agree with that. I do. I kind of agree with that. Jeff.
You can't keep giving the guy the benefit of the doubt year after year. And maybe 2/3 of the things that he's done were good things, right? And I'm confident in that. 2/3 of the things he does, I've liked. But you factor in his health, his age, the fact that we have one since he's been here. Like, how long can an owner say he's our guy? This is our GM. I'm confident in him. Like, at some point, you got to tell your fan base it's not okay to lose. We got to bring someone else in. And it sucks because you've got your young quarterback now, as we said, in his second system, second head coach. And now a new GM means the probability of a new head coach, not just possibility. Like, he's going to want his guy unless he's in love with Judge somehow. So that would be really bad for Daniel Jones, but potentially better for the Giants in the long term. We can't keep losing, and Mara's not selling the team. So who else is there? It's Gettleman.
No. What you hope, Jeff, is if with that scenario that you're painting, is that it works actually in reverse. There are franchises that let the coach pick the GM or have a say in the GM because they've invested in Judge. I really do. Like, why do you think you got a 38-year-old special teams coach? Because he's young and he's hard-nosed and he's a saving Belichick product. So if this comes, it could be
maybe a guy like Casserly or someone, or not Casserly, Casario.
Yeah, or Pioli. Like, it could be the fact that it could be like a Judge's part of it, because I think they've invested in Judge.
I hope that's the case. I definitely do. And I don't think none of us have hated on Judge at all.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to be available next year as a GM?
Bill O'Brien.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. I just looking at the way it's built and the upheaval, just don't see, like, you're not going to get another head coach. The franchise will fall apart with another head coach in another system.
I hope it's Judge.
All the wheels will come off. So
hey, how about this scenario?
Go ahead.
Well, who's available next year? Who's in the last year of their contract up in New England?
Is Casario available?
No, Belichick is.
He's talking about Bill.
Contract.
Oh.
He's always wanted to come back to New York.
Just to
Depends on how
GM,
things go this year.
What? Put him up in a front office? Maybe.
I don't know what his capacity would be, but
He is a GM right now. Isn't he half a GM?
But like he's
at some kind of dual role. Yeah.
He just says, "No, I don't want that guy," and they don't pay. Fresh, you got an opinion here? Jump in.
Yeah, I think people want blood, right? People want someone to take the axe, and this year it's Gettleman. Whether or not that's fair, like, again, I think a lot is going to be determined based on what the offensive line looks like at the end of the year. I think that he's made a lot of good draft picks, but when you have such a small margin for error, like the Bakers, like that hurts, that first round pick. Like, there were offensive tackles that went behind him and wide receivers that, like, we could use, So like the mistakes are magnified when you're in the situation he's in. I don't know that I'd throw him out the door. I was a defender of his as well. Just like earlier I said with DJ, I was riding the bandwagon. Now I'm a passenger. I'm kind of in the same spot with DG.
All three of you guys are sitting in the back seat together. How cute.
But
My big boys right here.
so that's that.
Well, I'm with you. I'd like to have some fresh blood, but I don't want any more change. I just want better players. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of over change. No more change. Just give me better players. Like, I don't care what they spend. Give me one pass rusher. Give me one wide receiver, and let's go play ball.
Right. Fair.
Is that really too much to ask?
You mean through free agency? Give you an edge?
Honestly, I'm a big proponent of doing what the Eagles used to do. You either go through free agency, like with T.O., let's say, right? Or you draft 2 or 3 of the position you need in round 1, round 2, and round 3. Like they would draft 2 or 3 corners. You need wide receivers, first and second round, get a wide receiver, come back in the 4th. Like, just do it. You know what I mean? Like, you need a tight end. In the 4th and 5th round, draft 2 tight ends. Like, just do it. Be non-traditional and just do it. And you're not going to get that out of Gettleman. So that's going to happen to happen. All right, I'm flipping coin here. So we've been on a little while, cranking this out. Giants have Dallas this week. We're hoping to capitalize on that. The Ram game, the defense played great. The question is, there's a bonus round. I'm going to leave it up to these guys. Are we doing bonus round, or are we cutting it off?
Let's do rapid fire.
Yeah, if you bang it out. Bang it out.
Okay. Again, Eddie Van Halen, the ice cream man. Love it. I want to play that right now. I want to play it so bad.
Wrap up the show with it.
Exactly. Oh, thanks. All right. So, ice cream man stopping by, right? You get to buy what I have. So my question is, you get to pick one play from the 2007 Super Bowl or the 2011 Super Bowl that could start next week. Who is that player and why? I'm starting off with you, Fresh, because you're in the back seat with the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling it out to you.
Great. We talked about a shot in the arm. We talked about how we all like the defense and how they're potentially a special defense, top 5, top 10, whatever. It's Plaxico Burress. My man is a gamer. My man is a prime time number 1, beat you with his speed, beat you with his height, beat you with his tenacity, clutchness, big time wideout that Daniel Jones gets. I don't have to see a hook route with no separation. It looks like little mice running the patterns. Let's go. Plaxico, come play the Dallas Cowboys who you owned this Sunday.
Yes.
Boom! Nice. That was like 30 seconds of just rapid fire. Michael Stewart, who are you taking?
Well, got to be on offense, and Mikey Fresh took my man. I'm going to go
you're
line.
going Plaxico. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to go offensive line. They need some offensive linemen, so maybe a Chris Nee, get him in there, or David Dale, get him in there. Get somebody in it to block.
My pick.
Same.
Hey, all right, well, I'll give you a second then, Spiro, to rebound. Jeff, what do you got?
I was going Plax, but I'm going to go. I know we need offensive help, but I'm going with the captain, Michael Strahan. Not only is this guy playmaker on the defensive end, he's the voice. He is the identity. He's the guy that's not afraid to get in front of the offensive linemen and tell them what they need to do. Like, that's exactly what the Giants need right now. That's a guy who got it done. He was a true leader, leading by example, and he was really loud. So he led with his voice a lot too. But that's a guy we need to help give the Giants an identity, rush the passer, make plays, make everyone better around him.
What you got, Spiro?
Well, I mean, I thought someone was going to take the obvious answer, but bring back Eli. When the game was on the line, we knew he was going to make the right play.
That block.
The game has been on the line at least 2 times out of the 4 games so far, and we're not sure if Jones is going to finish the game out on the right. Eli always with ice in his veins. Always with ice in his veins. He's going to lead us to victory. Whether he threw 3 picks earlier in the first 3 quarters or not, he was going to come down and lead the team to victory in the 4th quarter. Give me that guy. Give me Mr. Eli Manning.
Well, because this is my show, I'm picking 2 players, and I'm taking Cruz and Tuck because I need a defensive
Cheater.
madman. I need a big, strong, guy that's had multi-sacks in a Super Bowl. And I'm taking my man Cruz because when that prime season, man, when he was on the field, he was electric as could be. So I guess what we could do is if this actually plays, let's see.
Mikey B's gone.
Mikey
Yeah,
Fresh
he's
just
like,
left.
I
He's
know.
like, I'm out of here.
I'm here.
So you're listening to the Giants, guys. These are our guys. We're going to be posting a bunch of stuff, over the next, I don't know, couple hours. I'm going to post a bunch of stuff for you guys. Support us, pass us, share us. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe because we need subscribers. So the show, Ice Cream Man, baby. We'll see you next time on the Giants, guys. We're OUT. Out.
Ooh.
Boom.